Alright, we're back again for the February 1951 communist phase of MacArthur's War. MacArthur's War by, MDG Games. Okay, so let's do a quick summary here before we do anything. During the UN phase, the Marines invaded to the north of Pyongyang. The UN also had a beachhead over, well, they've crossed the river and they had a straight attack over here. And then they attacked across here to get it surrounded, and made a slight mistake in the last video. Pyongyang gives a +1 DRM. When I rolled on the odds table, it said DE, but the +1 would have made it defender mauled, which means all the units lose one step, all the defenders, and they retreat. Well, some of them retreated over here to this cut-off portion of the peninsula, and some of them retreated up here and displaced some of the units here. Also, the communists weren't able last turn to cover this port. This is as far as they got. So leveraging the ROC Army, some ROC divisions here, the U.S. 2nd Division was able to slip into the port and get the victory point. And that was enough to switch here, and now the UN is up by 2 victory points on the communist player. So tough choices here for the communists. They really can't call in more reinforcements without spending victory points at the current escalation level. Technically they could pull these units down now that the Marines have been committed here, but they are on a port and they can always strike again, and we're moving into summer, so that could help. Just looking at this, it's well, right now they don't have enough horsepower to take on the Marines, even with wave attacks. They could try and retake this hex. That's a possibility. And if they did that, then we'd have a tie. One down, one up. And then they'd try and stalemate, I guess. Or their other option is escalate. And if they do, all these hordes, potentially, maybe not all of them, we need to save some to protect the mainland, come across the border. Let's see, looking at the escalation, we would move into Asian War, and this is where we start going ahistorical. Now, wow, scope becomes the Soviet Union also. Formosa, Red China, they'd get 16 victory points there, and they'd also get the victory points for Vladivostok. So that will be 18 victory points just by pulling off that escalation. But what does change, and all the PLA armies can do whatever, come across the border, defend mainland, go to Formosa. Atomic bombs don't cost anything anymore. It drops off for victory points, but there is collateral damage as you use them, so it's kind of a two-edged sword. And to bring into play now, not just mobilize, USSR and Guard divisions and National Guard costs 1 victory point, and all of these go up. So I think what I'm going to do is, just for the sake of examining the game, if I was conservative, I would go for the tie and try and take this, then reinforce, and hope it holds along here. But we are going to take a shot at rolling for Asian War. Need a 4, 5, or 6. UN player attempts to escalate. The Chinese player attempts to escalate. We come up here. Yeah, communist player turn. Attempts to escalate. 7, escalation. And yeah, we can see the scope, air points, etc. Consult the number printed under the die and roll the die if the die roll is greater than or equal to. So it's a 50-50 chance. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to go ahead and roll the die. And does the war escalate? It does. That's just enough. We have now moved into Asian War. This simulation has now moved beyond the scope of what happened in real life. So what this means is now, at least from the communist point of view, all of these armies are free to move. Now when we think about this, there's three things they want to take into effect. Yeah, they want to come down here and attack, and their first time they use wave attack, they'll get a 2 shift. Some want to stay behind in case there's an invasion of mainland China, and on this table for the invasion, there's -1 for every army, 3 Chinese divisions present, and maybe we want to do Formosa, invade Formosa. And invading Formosa occurs on the strategic map, and you have to commit armies to do it, and that's determined by 1d6 how many they can commit. But there's also a rule that when the U.S. 7th Fleet goes into Formosa, they can't transfer any troops. So it's entirely possible the U.S., to prevent a Formosa invasion, would just move 7th Fleet there. So that would tell me it's now or never to invade Formosa. So let's go back to here. So they did escalate. They do get, well, let's do it right. I already counted it. There's 16 victory points in China. And I just see that Vladivostok's in there, so that takes us to 18. So if we're doing this live, 18 and 3, they're at 21. So with that scope change, they are once again in the lead by a substantial amount. And if we come back here, now we have the reinforcement phase. So replacement points and mobilized Chinese and Soviet units, right? With that scope change, let's see. The number of replacement airpoints received each turn is defined on the ladder. Replacement rates and available airpoint increases only on phases after. Escalates during his player turn. The number of UN airpoints does not increase until the next UN air phase. Okay, good. So that means the UN only has 1 airpoint left for defense if we attack, but because they use the other ones. But notice now at this new phase level, 8 airpoints. The KPA get 1 replacement, but only 1 because, let's see, and that, where are the KPA units? Yeah, there's hardly anywhere to build these units now, but I don't think there's any reduced right now. So the KPA gets 1, which means we'll just assume they appear on one of these ports here. So we'll go to eliminated units, and these are all the KPA units. So let's just say this one is restored. Flip. Okay. Well, let's put them here. That's better. Okay. There are no Chinese units to replace, so there's nothing there. Although China will get 3. Nationals China, no losses yet. USR gets 1, but no losses. Now my assumption here is we'll look at this. I don't think each USSR division can now come, and all of the USSR units are available. That's a lot of them. But each one of them costs 1 victory point if you use them. And atomic bombs are available for them too. So, definite change in complexion of the game here. Alright, so let's come over here, and we may just get as far as the movement phase. We've just done the reinforcements. Yeah, and there's no more to mobilize because they're all mobilized now. Now this is the one, strategic movement phase. This is the case where actually I'm going to go for the invasion of Formosa. And if I do this wrong, I'm sure I'll be informed, which is good. So let's go to the section on invasions, supply stacking, movement, offboard conflicts. And here's the key paragraph here. The communist player is limited to the number of armies that can be transferred to and from the island per turn, equal to the roll of a single die. The die is re-rolled each strategic movement phase. So this 1d6 will determine how many armies can be committed to the invasion. And it's now or never. 7th Fleet will shut the door on us. So let's see. 2. That wasn't helpful. Oh well. We'll play it as it is. They've got a big victory point lead. And at least while they've invaded, and I'm going to just move units that are on rail lines. So this guy, that's 3. So they're not going to get good modifiers actually. This may be over before it starts. I'll move this guy. Okay. So those are the 2 armies that attempt to invade. It would have been nice to have 6. And with that done, rolling on the appropriate once per each player's offboard conflict phase. So now the US could transfer armies, maybe. So let's look at the charts. Keep doing that. And if we look at Formosa, I don't have a zoom in. Unfortunately, this doesn't help us. There's 3 nationalist Chinese divisions, plus 3, and there's only 2 of these. Now, atomic bombs. Here's the downside of using 5 atomic bombs to get 1 shift. Collateral damage, it's called. Let's see if we can find it. Hold on. There it is. So here's what the victory point loss is for using atomic bombs. If the UN bombs Formosa, every atomic bomb they use on Formosa, because it's friendly, is a victory point. So if they used 5 atomic bombs, they'd be down 5 victory points just for using them. Okay, we'll talk about atomic bombs later, but that really doesn't make any sense. So they're not going to do that. They're going to just go ahead, and there's a +1 on 2d6. So, wow, if they roll high, invasion repulsed, end. Oh well, it's only 2 armies. Let's go ahead and roll a die. We got 2 dice with a +1 because there are 3 nationalist Chinese divisions supporting. So the Chinese invasion of Formosa is a 8. That means nothing happened. So they've got a beachhead, but it's not secured. These modifiers are die roll modifiers for future rolls here. So they're fighting on the beachhead right now. Okay? So they have a presence there. And the other side of this is as long as the invasion of Formosa is going on, they can't invade mainland China. So that kind of stymies that. So that was the end of that. So now after the offboard conflict phase, now it's the Chinese movement phase. So this will, now all of these units become available, but I still want to keep units in mainland China to repulse possible invasion and potentially reinforce Formosa. So everybody can move now. So then if we did the wave attacks, and it's regular movement, so this may be an opportunity to, oh, the Chinese have replacements, my bad. That's my bad. There we go. They had 2. Let's make sure. Wasn't looking for eliminated units. Let's see. Asian War. Yeah, they had 3, so these guys are out of supply. They can't be reinforced. They're good. They're good. So all of those are good. So maybe, and it's got to be all Chinese to get the shift. The problem with attacking here is there's a shift for the 7th Fleet and a shift for the air power if that's where they choose to use it. But they can also attack over here. Okay. So if the Chinese were going to attack, yeah, let's see if we can do some damage to the Marines with all these armies doing and we're going to automatically lose 4 steps because that's how many US steps there are. So, yep, that's probably what we're going to do. So I'll go ahead and start the movement here. These guys will go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these guys can come right down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can do a lot here. And I've got the North Koreans if I want them to. So let's just pull all these units here. And oh, I can't use the North Koreans for a wave attack. And I'll move this guy here. And move one more unit here. So it looks like we're going to get him. Just need one more unit here. There. So this is a full court press here. They're not going to move, so I'll mark them moved. So that's the big attack here. Don't know if they'll succeed. And we would like to mess with this guy if we can. It's 3 for mountain, and these guys can still move. And it's got to be all Chinese again, too. We want a wave attack. That's the only way we're going to have any luck here. So let's see what we can do here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, that's tougher. Guess I could move this unit here. 2, 8. These guys can move here. And that guy can move there. But I don't have a lot of Chinese. So this is a tougher one. I can't get enough Chinese there. Alright, this won't be as powerful as I want, but that's the best I can do. 3, 6. Let's see, this guy can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's there. This guy can go 3, 6, 7, 8. And I believe that's all the Chinese I can get here. These guys would be helpful, but then I can't get the 2 shift for the wave attack. And now I got 20 to 10 is 2 to 1. But it'll be 3 to 1 because it's in rough. But we'll give it a shot. And then these guys, well, these guys can just come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, as long as we're at it, we might as well do wave attacks everywhere. Let's see what this guy can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He can't go any further. Let's see. Well, I think what I'll do is move these guys down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll leave this guy there. This guy will stay there. Let's see, what are we at time? 19 minutes. Sorry, this one's taking a little longer. Can't do much with him. These guys really can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can't get in the battle. So there is a sense that we do want to protect the mainland. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This guy will go here. Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This guy will go here. This guy will go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy will go here. Now, let's see. We're just trying to protect against invasion. We're not going to call in the Soviets yet. We're going to wait for a turn. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's 3, 4, 7. Not worried about an invasion yet, but how many do I want to leave? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got to leave one more. 6, 7, 8, 9. That gets us a +3. So let's at least leave 4 more behind. Let's leave this guy here. Well, he can move faster, so let's just leave 1 here and move this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Yeah, that's 4 more, that's 9. And then these guys can cross in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This guy is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. Alright. Alright, I think that's it. Okay, where are they going to commit the air power to? 4 times 16 is 40, is 64 to 26, and 26 is 52, 64. So I didn't need all this, but anyway, it's done. Well, this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 to 10. It's going to be 2 to 1, but it's going to be 3 to 1. But I can take it to 2 to 1, and the 7th fleet will take this to 1 to 1. So let's protect him. Okay, so hopefully I did everything right. I've left the Soviets out of it for now. They're not going to drop atomic bombs yet. So we're going to do human wave. And let's do the big event here. Like I said, it's 4 times 16 is 40. 64 to 26 is 2 to 1. Wait a minute, let's think about this. But it goes down to 1 to 1 for this. But then it goes back up to 3 to 1. Let's do it there. 2 to 1. Okay, that guy is on his own. So this is 2 to 1, if I did the math right. Got 2 to 1 on the numbers, and then we get 2 shifts, but then we get 2 other shifts for human wave. So 2 to 1. And I don't believe, yeah, the Marines aren't in any defensible terrain, so it's a flat 2 to 1. Here come the Chinese. Ouch. Partial exchange. So, all defending units suffer 1 step, the attacker loses an equal number. Well, the attacker loses 6 steps. Okay, so. And now they've got to lose 6 steps. Well, that's easy. Just 1. That's 2. 4. 6. Yeah, that guy's exposed. I'm sorry, let's do this though. Yeah, I'm cheating, but whatever. I should have moved this guy up just to maintain the line. Now, is it worth it to attack this guy? I'm going to lose 2 steps right from the get-go, and it's going to be 12 to 5. It's going to be 2 to 1, but then it's going to go down to 1 to 1 for the terrain, but then it's going to go to 2 to 1, 3 to 1. And we could lose 4, that's 2 units. I don't think it's worth it. So let's do this attack. this is 2-to-1. 2-to-1 with one shift, but then one shift back, so this is 3-to-1. Okay, 2-to-1, one shift for the terrain, but then two shifts for the 1, and then 1, 2, 3-to-1. 5, nice. Defender retreat. Well, he can retreat here, but they got the victory point. And though these guys lose 2, so we're going to send this guy. That was due to the human wave attack. These guys will advance. So they got the victory point back. Not critical now, but moves this here and moves that there. And they did reduce the Marines here. So that's a lot of horsepower here. These guys, they're okay. And they're attempting to invade Taiwan. Wow, complexity changed. Alright, I think that's it. And they left 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in China. There we go. So that gives them a -3. But they can't invade right now, so it doesn't matter, because they've got to resolve what's going on in Formosa. So the UN have potentially cut off Marines here. The Chinese have repulsed their attack up here, and the Chinese are fighting desperately on Formosa. They haven't established a beachhead yet, but they're fighting for it. So what will the UN do now in response? They do have atomic bombs, and we'll talk about that more during the UN phase. There's some more dimensions, so we'll save that for the UN phase. So hopefully I did that right. If I didn't, I'll be sure to add the corrections, but that brings us to the end. And now we are in a full Asian war. Even the Russians can participate over here. If they do choose to use the Russian units, it'll cost victory points. But all the Russian units are available, I believe. So we'll see if they make that decision right now. So thanks for listening. If you liked, click like. And subscribe if you want to be notified the next time. Thanks.